What's up, hounds? It's Poir. TU1 is out, and that means updated builds. So I did Vampire and Longsword, and now it is Dual Blade's turn. This video will cover the meta DPS sets, an elemental and raw version, and maybe an extra build. Now, I won't make a Mizu build here today, as it is not meta, but depending on how many likes this video gets, maybe I might do it for fun. So like the video, and let's begin. Now, I did test Zoh Shia DBs, which are 220 raw, 5% affinity, 140 dragon, and come with a unique skill, White Flame Torrent, which procs 50 damage every 2 to 3 seconds with a 3-hit buffer, where after 3 seconds, you attack 3 times, you're guaranteed to trigger it. Despite many people echoing that it's good on fast weapons on forums and such, it actually really sucks for DBs. The proc rate seems to be way less than Longsword was, at least for the bread and butter combo of Dual Blade, since it works like Flare, where only certain attacks actually trigger it. So basically, Zoh Shia Dual Blades got around 1600 damage per standard Archdemon mode combo, versus an average Dragon Artian with 215 raw, 10% crit, and 207 LE, which got an average of over 17 to 1800 damage in one rotation. So a perfect Artian would get even more, possibly over 2000. TLDR, Dual Blade users are in Artian hell until Title Update 2. Before the Artian, the perfect Artian is all attack, everything, and at least one sharpness modifier. If you do not have a sharpness modifier, your weapon is garbage. But you will still make an Artian for each element, but mostly put attack for the rolls. Now, unlike other weapons, you can exchange like 1 to 2 attack for LE. So 2 attack, 2 LE, 1 sharpness boost. That's going to be fine. LE is worse, but not that much worse. So affinity is on the lowest priority. For para or blast weapons though, you would not take any LE. So in those cases, if you can't get 4 attack, crit is fine. But again, you need at least 1 sharpness modifier. Anyways, the decos I'll explain in the build calcs. So let's get started. Build 1. The best overall elemental setup is this: 2-piece gore, Numinous Shroud chest, G-Arc gloves, and Mizu's sexy legs. All beta, granting you 2-piece gore and antivirus level 3 for 25% crit when overcoming frenzy. Burst 5 for a lot of elemental damage and some raw, easy to activate on DBs, so 100% uptime. Agitator 2, Evade Window 2 for better iframes for your dodge. Constitution 2, and lastly, Coalescence 1 for some extra LE when you clear frenzy or cure any elemental status. And you have an extra level 1 for flinch free, shock proof, or I guess Constitution 3. For the calc, using a perfect Artian of 225, 5% affinity, and 270 base LE, versus Zoh Shia or Rathalos' face with a 65 slash and a 30 dragon LE weak hit zone, you get 283 using a full blade dance combo, as an example. And for a standard 20 LE weak monster like Raidao for example, 60 slash, you'll get 490. Now, most of your skills do not have 100% uptime, so it's already adjusted for that. Keep in mind that Wex is not 100% uptime either. You need to hit 45 raw hit zones or higher to proc it, so in certain matchups and your skill level, Weakness Exploit becomes worse, for those that are like criticizing Agitator a lot in my previous video. And yes, Agitator is about 70 to 80% uptime for a speedrun setup. So Shia might be worse, it might be lower to 50, but for the decos, Crit Boost 3, Razor Sharp and Handicraft, and level 3 Element with Crit Element Hybrid in your last level 3 slot for your Artian. For Dual Blade specifically, even an average Artian will surpass all the normal weapons, so just make Artians. So yeah, that's build 1, the best elemental setup. It does get 2 less damage than Agitator 5 with Coalescence level 3, but because it has Wex 4, we get over 600 damage versus Wounds, where the Agitator 5 version won't get any bonus at all. So I think this is overall just better. Also, Coalescence 3 uptime is garbage. It only lasts 30 seconds and can't be refreshed that easily. Build 1 also beats out the old 4-piece gore set with Counter-Strike level 2 thanks to Mizu legs and chest. But I'm going to flash that build in case you want to try it out here. So for the setup that you see right here, I opted for level 1 instead, and that'll net you Divine Blessing level 3 and Constitution 4 for a more comfy build. If you had trouble surviving against Zoh Shia, for example, then you would use this setup because of the Divine Blessing. Now for build 2 for Blast or Para Dual Blades, or against a monster with weak LE hit zones like Arkveld. The best setup is this: 2-piece Zoh, 2-piece Gore, and G-Arc gloves. So not only the best DPS, but also free tanky options built in. Nice. 2-piece Zoh will heal you over time, which can be accelerated with Immunizer, Jerky, or Sushi Fish Scale Plus. You can drop 1 Constitution for level 2 recovery speed, since you don't need as much stamina stuff with dual blades if you eat for black belt or drink dash juice. And with this, you're able to get 2-piece Gore, Max Wex, Agitator 4, Adrenaline Rush 1, and Burst 1 with Evade Window 2 and Divine Blessing level 3. So here's the calc with no element, only factoring the 65 slash. The decos would be Razor Sharp plus Handicraft, and then Crit Boost 5. Crit Eye provides 1 more damage, but with Wex and Wounds enabled, Crit Boost goes up, and even more up with Corrupted Mantle. And now it's bonus time, which is probably not meta, but let's try a Zoh Shia killer build. Odds are you're gonna get hit in that fight, so we're gonna trigger Convert Element and Counter Strike. Convert Element gives you 180 Dragon Element at level 3, for 2 whole minutes, with a 90-second downtime before being able to proc again, and gives you additional damage procs on top of 310 when it procs. So level 3 Convert Element is like 4 levels of burst, but better. And all you have to do is get affected by elemental damage. But the 310 proc does work like its status, so the monster will build up resistance to it over time, and you're gonna proc it less and less, but still, that's a lot of damage. So this setup gets you Agitator 5, Convert 3, Counter-Strike 3, Burst 1, Adrenaline Rush 1, Divine Blessing 3, so you don't get 1 or 2 shot as often, and yeah, you get the 2-piece heals from Zoh, Gore for the crit, and a level 1 slot for recovery up, which affects the later healing power of Zoh Shia's set bonus. Now unfortunately you will lose evade chance, but again, the point is to get hit occasionally, and if you're really good, you don't need evade window anyways. But yeah, this is obviously an elemental build, so you would take your Dragon Artian versus Zoh Shia, and go to town, and be tankier than build 1. Weapon decos, again, Dragon level 3 with Crit Element Hybrid, Razor Sharp level 3 with Handicraft Hybrid, and either Crit Eye level 3 or Crit Boost level 3. Effectively the same damage, but with Corrupted Mantle edging Crit Boost over Crit Eye. So for this setup to proc Counter-Strike more easily and not have to deal with the animation, I would recommend using Rock Steady Mantle for a safe trigger of Convert Ellie and Counter-Strike, and you should get about 2 procs for Counter-Strike before the mantle wears off, so about a 90-second uptime for those. But you can also activate Counter-Strike via a small barrel bomb, either at the start of the quest, and you would also use this when Zoh Shia shifts phases, like when it does the crystal thing, you're just kind of standing around, you can't really attack him during that, right? So you might as well just use a barrel bomb and activate Counter-Strike and Convert Element again. And that's the build video, so hope you guys have fun. Leave a like if you think layered weapons should be added ASAP. We don't want to use these toilet seats anymore. And now, only 2 weapons remain, Greatsword and Bow. Which one will be next? Let me know. Check out my longsword meta video or my vampire build, which has Zoh Shia tips as well. And subscribe for more Wilds epicness.